And I think that's incredible. And I believe, and then I look back at us, and I'm frustrated because our federal government is far too hesitant to respond to problems that plague us. As an example, there's a background check bill known as H.R. 8, and that passed the House just a few weeks ago. And President Trump has vowed that if it makes it to the Senate as well, he will veto it. And this is also the same President Trump who has instituted a travel ban that blocks travel between large Islam majority nations whose majority are Islamic. Sorry. To me, it's beyond disappointing that our government is so resistant to addressing problems in our society. Enough is enough. We need to use our voices and our votes to take out the people who refuse to act on the issues in our society. Take the people out of office that promote hatred in our communities. And it's for these same frustrations that I'm so proud of Massachusetts. We're able to maintain legislation that keeps our citizens safer, and we have legislators and leaders that fight to make sure it stays that way. Before I finish, I'd like to reaffirm there's no room for hatred in Lexington. There's no room for intolerance in Lexington. And there's no room for bigotry in Lexington. Thank you.
I want to say right now to our Muslim community that we are allies. We are here to listen, be with you and support you. Whatever you need, even if it's a hug, I'm right here. I believe that Lexington's community is based on the idea that we are equal no matter what. I also believe that a strong community is based on the foundation of empathy and kindness towards one another. I do not understand exactly what you are going through, but I will listen and do my best to be there for you. Sometimes I am shocked to see how much hate there is in the world. But then I see the amount of love around me, and I know that love will always win. No matter how dark the tunnel seems, there will always be a friend there to guide you to the light. Within the past week, 2 student survivors from Parkland have died by suicide. One's name was Sydney Aleo. She had been living with PTSD and survivor's guilt for over a year, but she never formally asked for help. And the other name has not been released yet. Shootings can do that. Grief can do that. Not only do shootings kill people, but they can kill spirits and hopes of survivors and loved ones. We need to address this. Shootings cause more damage than is in the news headlines. And I think some of you may know this already because not only is there grief in your heart, but there might be fear. I want to tell you that it's okay to ask for help. There are people there for you and people that love you. Please never give up on yourself and never give up on hoping for a better tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a better day. Thank you.
Good evening. I was asked to say a few words, and I have to admit that in times like these, there are often no words that adequately illuminate an understanding of how something so heinous can ever happen in our world. Now is the time for grieving and for honoring those whose lives were lost. In time, we might ask and try to understand what it is that gives rise to such hatred. As members of the human race, we are all compelled to seek out community, to seek out our fellow human beings in search of a sense of solidarity. And in so doing, we sometimes reach out, more often than not, to those who are most like ourselves, seeking community in a group that is just like us. We are comforted by a homogeneous world where people look like us.